What's up, YouTube? Georgia Silver Hunter back after quite a long hiatus. I've been out of town for the Thanksgiving holidays, and I've just really struggled to get coins, to be honest with you guys. It's tough to have a coin channel when you can't get coins. But this week, I have 4 boxes of halves that have come in. I've confirmed it with the banks. I have 2 boxes with me today. We'll be hunting these first 2 boxes. We may extend this video into 4 if these first 2 boxes come up dry. But we'll be posting this video whether we get a million silvers or we get none. So with that said, let's jump into this box. All right, well, let's do a live opening because I don't do a lot of live openings anymore these days, but it's been my first half box in a while. Let's do it together. I'm just praying for the day that I open one of these again and find a million silvers. That looks a little gray. That's a little toned. Quick spot check. I am not seeing any silvers here. That doesn't mean we don't have some on the other ends. But you know what? What we're going to do is I'm going to open both boxes here in this intro just to see if we have any enders. So give me a second. Here is actually box number 2. Let's open this together as well, and then I'll go back to that first box and we'll dive right in. Here we go. And there is box number 2. Quick spot check. Just pick a couple of rolls here. Not seeing any silver. All right, well, I'm going to get this box out of the way. We'll get back over there to that first box. I will jump into it, and I will bring you guys in at our first find. There we go. Let's do one roll together. We'll do it live together. If you are new to coin roll hunting and you're wondering what we're looking for, we're basically looking for anything silver. So that's 1970 and earlier, or some S silver proofs. Those are always nice to find. We are also looking for a number of errors and varieties that you can find in a document down below in the description. Mainly that is your 71D, your 72D, 82 and 83P, and your 74D. But you can find those in a document that I have down below. With that said, no silver in this roll. We can tell just from the edges. So we're going to jump into this, and I will bring you guys in at our first find. Well, boys and girls, that box is what we would call a skunk, except for this Ring of Death 2018 Denver. That was the only coin that was even remotely interesting in the entire box. This is not intended for circulation, an NIFC. These were made in special sets and sold probably by the roll, by the mint. These were not meant for circulation. That's why typically people call them a find, but this one is junk. It's got the Ring of Death from being rolled. The machine catches the edge of the coin when it's on an end and puts a marking in it, so it's called the Ring of Death. So that's going back in the bin. As you can see here, we have an empty box. So we're going to jump into that box number 2 that I already opened. I did coin roll the top of the box, and there were some NIFCs on there as well. I think I saw 2007, but let me grab that box and we'll jump right into it. So here we are, and if you compare this image to the beginning of the video, you will see that I believe I rolled these top. I know I took the whole top rack off and looked on the bottom to see if there was any silver, and I didn't see any. But I did have a number of really shiny edges. I think actually that's a 2002 or a 2007 right there. So we know we're going to find at least a few NIFCs. But let me get this pushed back, and I will bring you in at our first find. So here we go with roll number 1. We've already found our first NIFC, a 2002 Denver. And I've got some more shiny rims in here. Let's take a quick look. There's a 2002 Philly. That might be it. I think that's going to be it. All right, so, you know, NIFCs aren't that much fun to find. I might bring you in on 1 or 2 more. Otherwise, I will wait and bring you in when we find the silvery stuff. So we are deep into box number 2. We are on roll 34. And before we get to that roll, I did want to stop and just show this off. These are all 2002 Philadelphia and Denvers. The stacks are not indicative of the mints, But this is easily like $20 worth, maybe $25 worth of 2002 NIFCs. It's probably the most single-year coin I've ever found for NIFCs, and it's definitely the most 2002s. There's actually a couple of really, really nice ones in there. Normally the 02s are pretty beat up. I'm about to knock them over. We do have a couple other years. I think that's an 05 and a couple of 2008s. They're pretty grungy. But the main reason I brought you guys in is I think there's going to be a few more 2002s in here, just looking at the rims. But I got one real thick guy right here, and it is definitely a proof. Let's see here. It is a 2015 San Francisco clad proof. So we've got a whole bunch of NIFCs now and one proof for the board. So I was organizing my coins, my finds for the wrap-up, and I had a whole bunch of 1974s, a 1973, and a whole bunch of 1971s to go through on the scope. And the reason I'm stopping here is I've gone through, I don't know, 6 or 7, and I had nearly back-to-back. Let me get this under here so you guys can see it. Nearly back-to-back 1974 double die obverses. So let me see if I can get it on here just so you can clearly see. Where's my mouse? There it is. All the doubling here in the R, the doubling in the U, the doubling in the S, the T, the telltale sign on the 1974 is there, if I can get it in the right light. You can kind of see it there. There's a little notch on the 4. If you ever see that little notch, you know you have one. But I've also got big time spreading on the 9. Let me pull this out here. It's a little hard for me to do it when it's that close. You can see there on the T, I'll zoom back in here with the camera. On the T, we've got massive spreading on the T. If you've never seen it before, right here, all down through here, and again on the Y. Lots and lots of spreading on the Y. Actually, it looks like on both sides. So this is definitely a 1974 double die obverse, and I've actually organized these so they were side by side. I think they were like actually 2 apart from one another. Let me get that under here. And this one's in really bad shape. I almost wasn't going to show you guys this one. But again, the other one's a much better example, but you can see the spreading here on the R, the stem of the R, the doubling here in the U, the doubling on the S, and there's that little notch right there in the 4. And if we go look at the Y and the T, you'll see it's not as severe on this one, but it is there in the stem of the Y as well as on the T. So you have the extra little notch there and the spreading there. So far we have 2 1974 DDOs, and I've got about 5 more coins to go through, and then a whole bunch of 1971s. I'll keep you posted. So here we are with the wrap-up. I went through the rest of those 74s and 71s, and we didn't find anything else, but we didn't have any silver in these 2 boxes, but we did have, as I said, halfway through this box, a whole bunch of 2002s. So I've separated them into 2002 Phillies and 2002 Denvers. These were probably the 2 nicest looking specimens out of there, but that was a 2002 Philly, and we have a 2002 Denver. And we had, I believe, 37 2002 Phillies, and we had 34 2002 Denvers. Now, they're not intended for circulation coins. 2002 was the first year of that. There's not any major value there, but I know in my books, I pulled these because I'm probably going to upgrade these. I never really find really nice 2002s. So I'll go through these, and I actually have 2 sets of books for these, so I'm going to pull out the nicest ones and upgrade my book. We did end up with a 2005 Philly. That's not in terrible shape. We had 2 2008 NIFCs. We also had a 2013 Denver. We had that 1 proof that I actually brought you guys in for. Nice San Francisco clad proof. What would a box of halves be without a necklace coin? I didn't even check that one for a no FG, but it's on there. You can see it. But we get lots of these little necklace coins. I've got a really beat up half to add to my box, and actually this came out of the very first one. This one was bent. It's tough to see on camera, but this one's, yeah, there it is. You can see a big old dent in it. So I always pull those and just put them in a cup. And then, of course, the last two finds that I brought you in for under the scope, I had two 1974D DDOs. This one's probably the nicer of the two. I'll check the grade, and I'll throw up what these might be going for on eBay and PCGS. Those are not nice enough condition to actually get graded. But from time to time, I do try to sell those on eBay if I can get a couple of bucks for them. But I will put some value up on the screen so you can see how much those two DDOs may be going for. So with that, I think I'm going to wrap up the video here. I know we didn't find any silver, but we found a ton of stuff in that second box. I do have two more boxes that we'll be getting to later this week, one from Fifth Third and one from Wells Fargo. So hopefully we get a little silver in one of those. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, go down below here and please do go down below the video and click on that like button. Just smash it a bunch of times. Just make sure it's lit up when you're done. I'd really appreciate it. And leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. And I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you enjoyed this, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.